right, 21 February 2025, and today is a Friday, one of the most important Fridays in the history of Zimbabwe. This is because we enter today with the military on the streets. So this is the first time that Zimbabwe is going into an important event with the military in the street. So currently, as we speak, the military has been deployed in Harare and in Bulawayo and in various other places. So the Zimbabwe military has been deployed and is currently on the street right now. So if you go to the outskirts of Harare at key strategic points, you are going to see the Zimbabwe military deployed, and no one knows why they've been deployed. There's been no statement on the deployment, and the people in Zimbabwe have not been informed. None of the state media has said anything about the deployment. However, we know why they've deployed. And the reason that they've deployed is because of the demand for Mnangagwa to step down that has been made by war veterans over the past few weeks, starting with Blessed Geza. Here, we made two statements or press statements in which he asked Mnangagwa to step down. So over the past months, the situation has been building up, and we're getting to a point where Mnangagwa, as the current president, is going or is expected to step down today, if not this weekend. So this whole process is going to finish this weekend, and many of you are going to be surprised. This is because when the army goes out, they don't go out for nothing. They always come out with a result. And normally when the army goes out, someone is going to die. So that is what you should know. The army doesn't go out just to do nothing. They don't roll out their tanks for fun. There is a plan. So when you see the military out, there is a plan. So the plan is going to be implemented, and this weekend we're going to see a result. I'm very confident that today we're going to see the first most important sign, and leading to a statement or a proper announcement by the military. So at the moment, there's been no announcement. So we are expecting a big announcement to be made by the military before anything happens. And that is if Mnangagwa refuses to step down today, if he refuses to make that speech that they probably have given him, then you're going to see an actual announcement by the army to say Mnangagwa must go, or that they are intervening. So I'm expecting that to happen today. So today, very important day. We are expecting it. Mnangagwa is already in Bulawayo as we speak, and so is General Tawengwa. So General Tawengwa is already in Bulawayo as we speak right now with Mnangagwa. And I expect that Tawengwa is going to be the next person to take over in Zimbabwe. The political and economic crisis in Zimbabwe is so bad. Shops are closing. Banks are firing hundreds and hundreds of workers. As we speak, CBZ has last month dismissed 349 employees. There is no stock on the shelves, and the ZiG, the new currency of Zimbabwe, crashed in less than 6 months to zero. And that is terrible. That is why Zimbabwe is going such a crisis. Ordinary people are suffering, and that includes soldiers. And people are looking at Tawengwa as the person that is going to take over and make things better. So the expectation on Tawengwa is so heavy, and any person that you talk to is expecting that Tawengwa is going to solve the problem. I don't know if that is the right expectation, but nationally, that is the expectation. Everyone is looking at Tawengwa as the person that is able to remove Mnangagwa and then to fix the solution. And the trust in the army is very high as we speak right now in Zimbabwe. But before we go into all that, let me look at some of the things that has happened overnight. A lot has happened overnight. And I want to start here with the wife of Blessed Geza. So the wife of Blessed Geza has been arrested. So she's been arrested again for the second time in 2 days. So they arrested her in Norton, and she was taken to Harare CID by police. So if you go to Hopo Chingono's Twitter, so Hopo Chingono's Twitter, you are going to see letters there. So that is a letter that was written. So you can check out the letter that is on Hopo Chingono's Twitter, which is from Beatrice Mtetwa. So if you look at that letter, it says Roseline Ndaizivei Tawengwa. That is the wife of Geza. She was arrested overnight, and I believe that they have released her. She was first arrested on the 18th, and they want to find out where is Geza. The police and the army are at odds because it is believed that the army has got Geza and they're protecting him, and CID is looking for Geza. They want to arrest him for a number of accusations. So remember last week I said Geza was supposed to appear in court. I do not believe that Geza appeared in court because he was supposed to appear there as the complainant, but he didn't go to that court case, and therefore the police could not arrest him at court. There was also an attempt, according to viral media, social media reports, that the son of Mnangagwa, Sean Mnangagwa, tried to send a unit of the army into KG6, a barracks on the outskirts of Harare, to snatch Geza, where they believed that he was hiding, and he was repelled. So as I said to you, I asked Sean Mnangagwa, I had a conversation with Sean Mnangagwa, where he did not say if that happened or not. So he denied, he refused to say. So Geza right now, as we speak, is still out there and is being protected by someone very powerful. However, his wife has been arrested and she was released. Then they questioned her, where is he? She couldn't say anything. And then today, overnight, less than 5 hours ago, they've arrested her again. And I believe that she's been released again because she has committed no crime. So let's see what happens with this situation. Geza's wife being arrested overnight and Geza still on the run. So if this situation continues, it's going to get very bad. You are going to see every day that goes past, this standoff is going to get worse and worse. There's a standoff between the army and Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is using intelligence, that is CIO and other intelligence bodies. The army is on their side. Right now, the army is just standing there, doing nothing. They just roll their tanks out, they park, and they do nothing. And intelligence is still looking for Geza. They are doing stuff in between in the cities on behalf of Mnangagwa. But the moment the army starts moving, everything is going to just go trabablas. It's going to be terrible. But we're going to see it. We're going to like action. We're tired of this standing around and doing nothing. So that is the problem. Many Zimbabweans are tired of people just standing around and doing nothing. So army, please help us. Help us with some movement. Now let's go to popular journalist Blessed Mhlanga. Blessed Mhlanga is been hospitalized. He is the man that interviewed Blessed Geza. So Blessed Mhlanga interviewed Blessed Geza on 2 occasions. So on all occasions, recently, he interviewed Blessed Geza, and he's currently hospitalized. And it's not clear what has happened to him. He is very, very ill, according to himself. I tried to get hold of him. Here, let me see if he has replied me at all. Because obviously, if you're sick, you're not sitting around trying to reply people. You're lying there trying to get better. So unfortunately, he hasn't replied to me. And that is crazy. So for now, nothing's happened. I'll let you guys know if he replies me and see how he's feeling. Blessing Mhlanga. Very, very ill, but a favorite of many people. He has produced some of the best stories ever. I think one of the top presenters ever in Zimbabwe, and very underrated person. He's done great, this guy, in terms of all that reporting that is done. But unfortunately, falling sick and in hospital. So here is his tweet. I'm tripping I'm falling and I can't get up. My health is failing me. My mind is spinning. I'm in hospital right now, but I'm grateful of the support that I've received from you, my employers, and my family. This is a trying time for me. All I'm doing is my job. So the stress and the pressure of his job is part of it. But blessing, Gawe atari mve. To meet a bow, I need a bow. Can I stress? If you want to see Chinichirumpa energy, Mve, I'll need a bow. I'm going to be talking more about Mve later on. What does Mve do to a woman? I'll tell you about it just before I close this session. So mkamona muze kuti auye atore Mve wake for free. Now let's go to other important stories. Botswana, there was a heavy flooding yesterday, and the Gaborone Dam is overflowing. So all the dams in Botswana are overfilling, and this is a terrible mess because it threatens the communities around these dams. So let me look at President Dumapoko, what he's saying about it here. So President Dumapoko has visited all the areas affected by dams. Here is a real president. Guys, this man is a real president. This man is leadership. Look at President Dumapoko. I like this guy. Look what he's doing right now. He's visiting all the places where there are floods. So look at him. President Dumapoko has gone over and visited the areas where there is flooding. And you know that Botswana is basically a desert. Now look at that flooding over here. This is like you get out of bed and start swimming. This is terrible. But President Dumapoko doing everything that the president can do to solve the situation. So all the dams in Botswana overflowing, and it's terrible over there. I hope that these guys, it gets better because Botswana is flat. There are no mountains. Well, the areas I've gone to, everything's flat. So it's crazy how these floods are affecting people in Botswana. And then let's go to banking. Guys, there's a terrible situation in banking in Zimbabwe. But the coming of Tawanda Nyambirai into banking is going to be something else. This man is going to shake up banking, and I hope that is for the better. So Tawanda Nyambirai has announced that he's going to make massive changes at Stuart Bank, where he now owns 53% of the bank after Strive Masiwa pulled out of banking in Zimbabwe. So he says he's going to shake up the executive. The structure is too bloated, and he believes that there is need to change that bank's approach. So Tawanda Nyambirai, call me. I've got a plan for you for that bank. That thing can be big. That's Stuart Bank. Because no one has been attending to Stuart Bank. Honestly, the things that you can do with Stuart Bank are so massive. So Tawanda Nyambirai, call me. Actually, I'm going to WhatsApp him here, and then we'll talk. Do you know how banking at Capitec is working? If you do the same for Stuart Bank, it will be massive. But people have not been attending to banking. Banking is owned right now by Tagure. Tagure is the owner of banking in Zimbabwe through another Zim Bank, ZB Bank, CBZ, and so forth. So the coming in of Nyambirai, it will cause someone to be on the ground because Strive Masiwa was away in South Africa and UK. So the coming in of Nyambirai is really important. But if you work at Stuart Bank, your days of being comfortable, of running to the office and going straight for breakfast, and then after that, looking out of the window and taking a walk in Harare streets are over. You need to start thinking twice. And that is for everyone in Zimbabwe. A job is not a right. A job is a privilege. If someone employs you, do your job. And that is the kind of culture that we need. And for the guys who are retrenched, we have a project for you. So call me if you're in Harare and you are retrenched. Don't think twice if you are retrenched. I have been retrenched 3 times. I know what a retrenchment is all about. You see me here? I literally walked out and took voluntary retrenchment myself. in 20, I think that was 2007 or something like that. I took a voluntary resignation. I walked away with about 1 million rands. And very soon, the 1 million rand was like zero. So let me help you. If you are retrenched, don't think you've got time. You don't have time. What you have is opportunity. There's massive opportunities. So join with other people, and we're going to be working with the fund. So the fund that was setting up in Harare, the $1 million fund that was setting up in Harare, join it, become part of it, and you are going to do very, very well. It's not the end of the world when you are retrenched. So the guys who are retrenched from CBZ, the guys who are retrenched from Stewart, all the mines that have been firing people, you have an opportunity, but you can't do it by buying some strange things like starting a butchery or starting a hairdresser or whatever. That's not where you make money. You need to be in something bigger. So if you don't know if you are trained or not, just call me and we'll talk about that. But Tawanda Yambera is doing very, very well. Hands-on, he's on top of his game. And I like that man. AFM. AFM church is my church. I used to go to that church. And did you guys know that the president of the AFM officiated at our wedding? So president of AFM, dear Aka officiator, is the one who married me with my wife. So now let's look at what has happened overnight. And I want to look at Prophet Advocate Joshua. He's talking about banking. So I want you guys to watch Prophet Advocate Joshua. He is a lawyer, prominent advocate, and he has issued a prophecy tonight, this past night. So let me see if I can find that thing that he issued. Yes, Prophet Advocate Joshua has got the power of multiplication. Me and Prophet Advocate Joshua, I am so close to Prophet Advocate Joshua, like it's shocking. So let's now go and see what he said overnight about the bank. So I want you guys to see what's going to happen to CBZ Bank, and that is the prophecy by Prophet Advocate Joshua here overnight. Very interesting. So let's see what he said, and I hope I'm in the correct spot here. All right.
That does not affect our original makeup is granted by the Lord. We emanate from God Himself, so we are, in actual fact, individuals who are spirit beings. In being spirit beings, we are gods. That's why the Bible says, it says that little children, ye are gods. All right? Why? Because greater is He that is in us than he who is in the world. Yes. So I want you to notice this thing, and this is my encouragement to you. You need to pray unto God that He gives you an understanding of who you are. And even as I was relating with the Spirit of God, I was taken into a realm where I began to see. This was CBZ Bank in Zimbabwe. I saw it shutting down. I saw that bank shutting down. It was shutting down not on account of something that you can imagine yourself. I saw transactions that went the wrong way. And before the shutting down of this bank, I saw quite a number of scandals that wreaked havoc on the management of this bank. So what am I saying as a prophet? Reigning as I do from this priestly position that God has put me into, I see in the realm of the Spirit. Before the closure of this bank, I see headlines of scandals that are going to be spoken about in this bank. Is it unauthorized funding? Is it monies that find themselves getting missing? And then you have meetings there, people are not answerable, and then the police tries to intervene, but money is gone. In one transaction, I saw 700,000 that had gone missing. So this is what I'm saying to you today. You have got this bank that benefits hundreds upon hundreds of individuals, and it's in Zimbabwe. What do you have to do? You ought to begin to pray now.
Right. So that is Prophet Advocate Joshua. This man, let me tell you what happened. Prophet Advocate Joshua called me before the death of Jinimbi. And he said, Gambakwe, I have a prophecy for Jinimbi. And I've told him. And at that time, I think Jinimbi just like ignored it. And he told me that he has issued a death prophecy on Jinimbi. I was laughing at him. Like me and Prophet Advocate Joshua, he's like, he's probably younger than me, right? So when he calls me sometimes, I'm like, this man, is he crazy or what? So Prophet Advocate Joshua calls me just before the death of Jinimbi. It was like a week before. And he says, I've issued the death prophecy on Jinimbi. And he sent me the link and said, pardon, Gambakwe, please publish this prophecy. His channel was very small at that time. So I didn't publish it. I gave it to one of the guys to publish it. And we actually didn't publish it. Then a few days later, I decided to do it. Then one day I woke up early in the morning and people were calling me to say Jinimbi has died. And you can imagine my horror. The first person I phoned was Prophet Advocate Joshua. The man has got a gift of multiplication. If I had CBZ, don't take this thing lightly. Something big will happen. Prophet Advocate Joshua, very, very accurate prophecy. Multiple prophecies have gone correct, including Chamisa. Chamisa has been called by Prophet Advocate Joshua multiple times before elections. 3 elections that Prophet Advocate Joshua has accurately prophesied. So I just wanted to bring that to attention. We're not talking about banking. It's going to be a shocking moment for CBZ if everything that has happened before is accurate. Now let's go to H Metro newspaper, my favorite newspaper. Guys, go and check it out. They've got a very dangerous story that has happened this week. So the man you're watching here is Trymore Tore. He has made that 4 people. He is a headman, or what we call a leader of the community. So first of all, he killed his wife, his young wife, 21-year-old wife. And then he killed his uncle. And then he killed a woman, a local woman that was working with. He is 37 years old and he killed Molin Chibayanzara, buried her in a pit and buried her uncle in the pit. And then there was a 17-year-old that he also killed soon after the incidents and covered her with some branches. His uncle, 53-year-old Kuwe Sumasau, who tried to intervene in the dispute between himself and his wife, was also killed. And this happened this week, just 3 kilometers from Kabiza shopping center in Hurungwe. So this happened this week, and this man is appearing in court sometime this week. Not sure what happened for him to go on this spree, but this is what has happened. He has killed a massive, 3 people already killed, and he tried to kill the woman that pointed him out. So he killed these people, hid them in the ground, and then a local woman said to him, "You are the one who killed these people." Then he said to her, "Let's go to the prophet since you've accused me." As they were walking to the prophet, he tried to kill her. And she is the one who then called the police. Very brave woman who did this. But Trymore Tore, a local headman in Urungwe, has killed 3 people and attempted to kill a 4th person in Zimbabwe. Crazy stuff happening there. And then Patrick Chinamasa has closed the Varakashi. In fact, he has fired 6 members of Varakashi for ED group for insulting Chiwenga. So let me show you this group, who it's made up of. He's insulted John Msara or Jonasi Manduisa Msara, Tafadzwa Mawire, Tinotenda Gachange, Felix Mzondo, Pardon Mangwende, and Herbert Mate. So those people were insulting Chiwenga on social media. and they've been fired by Chinamasa. Chinamasa is given more direction on what is Varakashi for ED. Varakashi for ED was created by Mnangagwa just before the elections, and you can see the details in the letter that is written. So it's written a letter here. So that letter is widely available, which shows how he fired these guys and why he fired them. Crazy stuff happening in Zimbabwe, and let's see what happens. Zanu PF going through one of the most difficult transitions. Someone is going to die. You're going to see a body very, very soon, and a big body. Now, I want to, what time, how many minutes have we done? 25 minutes. That is about one quarter of Makandiwa's sermon. I don't want to take longer than Makandiwa. So go and check out the Metro newspaper. I like this newspaper. I wonder what is this still the editor over here? Because the quality shows me whoever is running Metro is doing a good job. He knows what he's doing. He's always on time. And his stories are very interesting. Now let's go to Herald newspaper. What is in the Herald newspaper today? So in the Herald newspaper, Mnangagwa is on the front of the page, as usual. There has been no newspaper without Mnangagwa's face for the past year. Every newspaper in Zimbabwe of the public newspapers has Mnangagwa at the front. So Mnangagwa is talking about NDS2, and then he went to the Edgar's plant in Bulawayo, and you can see him with Chiwenga over here. So Chiwenga looking very relaxed with his hands in his pocket. And I don't know who's next to him there, but I think I see Mangaliso over here, and I see Sako over there. Sako is no longer talking rubbish. Like Sako is the guy who he talks with a soft voice, but he always talks nonsense. But that is Sako over here, and then you see that army guy over there, presidential guard. Everyone is relaxed here, and Edgar's they're not doing badly in terms of manufacturing. Then what else is in this newspaper? Someone's trying to call me. Don't call me, I'm busy. And then let's see what else is in this newspaper. UK ambassador meets Zimbabwe cricket. This ambassador is doing well. I like him. He goes around and talks to a lot of people. But the UK is basically lost power now. Everything about the UK it's almost like the UK is in decline now. After Trump came, it's like the UK doesn't exist. And then Cassava secures 310 million, reshapes leadership for further growth. So guys, I'm going to unpack this for you. What is Strive Masiwa's strategy? Strive Masiwa's strategy is becoming very confusing. Okay, so let me unpack this because I know Strive Masiwa watches it. So let me unpack for you. Strive Masiwa was in banking a lot. Short bank, Eco Cash, those were big. So he seems to have moved away from that, the actual transactions. He now wants to go on the underlying technology, what is called fintech. So that is what Strive Masiwa is doing. But Strive Masiwa is firing a lot of people. A lot of people are getting fired by Strive Masiwa. So let's see what's happening here. US DFC have given capital to Strive Masiwa, 310 million in funding for high profile investments, including Google, US International. So I don't know what's happening with this newspaper. I'm like trying to scroll and it's going all over the place. So let's try this format. Including Google, US International Development Finance Corporation, and the Finnish Fund for Cooperation. This capital boost, coupled with a successful debt financing and legal reorganization, signals a new growth for cassava. So cassava is going to be the biggest, like this is the biggest thing that Masiwa is doing. And I think to do this justice, I will have to sit down and look at what exactly he's doing here. Who is he reorganizing? What does it mean when he talks of reshaping the leadership for further growth? Who is being removed? Who's being added? I showed you already the people that he appointed earlier this week. I think Makamure was one of the appointments by Strive Masiwa. But honestly, to tell the truth, and without a doubt, did you see that? So I believe that in Zimbabwe, the problem is too big. So I believe that what Masiwa is doing here is not Zimbabwean focused. It's Africa focused. But with what Mkuru is doing, so if you look at what Mkuru is doing, Mkuru is becoming a digital bank. And Masiwa is working on Econet Wireless. So I don't know if that strategy is sound. We need more, something more bank-like from Masiwa. So something more online bank-like. So like what is happening in South Africa with things like Bank Zero, Time Bank, a bank that doesn't have walls, but a bank that actually does something. For example, we cannot pay right now online in Zimbabwe. If someone knows how to pay online, I've got websites right now which I can't use for paying. So we need transactions on e-commerce to take place, and we don't have anyone who can do e-commerce in Zimbabwe. In South Africa, it's the same. We've got a small bunch of group of people that are doing online payments, but we really don't have someone who can push online payments. So we want someone who can take Zimbabwe into online payments, and I think Strive Masiwa, he needs to focus more on that and making sure that transactions are online. So with that Bank Zero, if someone is outside of Zimbabwe, they want to buy a sofa, they can buy it online. If they want to pay their friend, they can pay. Not this phone thing where you're transacting through an app. So I hope that he does that and that works. So I don't know if he's going to use the money for that, and also if what is his key market. Is it just going to be Africa in general or Africa in particular, or Zimbabwe or South Africa? A very confusing strategy to me. I don't get it, unfortunately. And normally I get more strategies, but at the moment I don't get Strive Masiwa's strategy. And I hope that he is watching this and understanding what I'm talking about. I see someone with a lot of money entering a shop and starting to buy sweets, cake, candy, coffee. Yeah, that is what is happening here. What is the core business of Econet Wireless? That question has to be answered, and I don't get it right now. Especially once they exited the bank, what are they going to be focusing on? They're saying they're no longer doing software network, they're doing data, they're doing fiber. But with this side of the bank, what is it about? And if I was him, I was just going to unbundle the whole thing and put the fintech side here, the medical side here, and the fiber side here, and unbundle them completely as two different or three or four different companies. And then the software side, I would also put it on a different side. So let's see what Masiwa is doing. And as I said, I'll unpack this very, very soon. Guys, myself, I'm ready, guys, to be a CEO, but not to CEO of a company. I'm going to create something that you guys can be part of. So we're creating something that you guys can be part of. What we're doing with the 1 million fund in Harare for Newtown, it's a combined effort or a crowdfunding. And very soon you're going to see something coming up. But too much money is a problem. If you've got too much money, your business won't succeed. So if you right now you get retrenched and they give you 20,000, if you try to start a business with 20,000, you'll lose it. If I give you $500, you can make more money than someone with $20,000. That is what you should know. So the people with much money don't make money. They start losing it. The people with less money are innovative and agile, and they start making a lot of money. So that is my 2 cents on this whole thing, or my 50 cents. All right, now let's go to important stuff. Move for women. What does move do to a woman? Right, let's go. Let's say you're a woman, right? Those are the things that move is used for. So now let's go to skincare. In Africa, they use move for skincare. If your skin has got issues, you use move. Fibroids. So if you're a woman and you're suffering from fibroids, use move. obvious fertility if you are not having kids, the pains and the UTI. So all this stuff I'm reading is for women. And immune blister, cancer. I won't read the next one. Camps. My Zimbabwe. Akaita say compared to my countries. So if you go to Harare, the girls in Harare have a different shape from the girls in Harare. And if you go to South Africa, if you go to Eastern Cape, it's different from Joburg. So if you want to have camps, yeah, then obviously there's issue for diabetes, sinus, and asthma. So let me talk about sinus. So let's say you are sleeping at night and you have to keep going. You've seen those people that go, yeah, that is a sinus. So that shows Kuti, your system is clogged. You use this thing, and then there's obviously for men, if you use Mveo for 3 months, you have to be a champion. You are a champion, Unorega, Zungu. But the one thing I can say is prominent people, right? Let's say you are a celebrity, you are a politician, you are someone that is very well known. The only person you can buy from is Zimbabwe. So you WhatsApp me on that number. My guys will deliver it to you discreetly, and you don't have to be shy because I also use that thing. So I'm not even telling you things that I don't use. I'm telling you things that I use myself, and it's amazing. So this packet is finished, right? We've done this packet. It's 200 gram packet. We're done with this packet. What does this mean? The tree. So what we do is we use a different tree every time. A tree is in our farm. So not my farm, my manufacturer's farm, right? He's got a farm where we go into a tree and we say, this tree is now what we're using. They then take out the fruit, the bark, and the leaves, and they create different products. And when you see me finish with a packet like this, it means we're now going to a new tree. So last week, we had the special, and that finished the tree. Today, we received the new stock, yesterday, last night, and we got a new tree now. So if you make your order today, you get a new tree. That means you're almost starting something different. However, I'm going to give you guys the day when you need to stop. So the guys who started in January, I'm going to call you. When you finish your first 3 packs, you're going to need to stop taking this thing. Right? That's my number there. I need you to stop taking this thing for a full month, 1 month. You see, I'm selling you this thing. I'm not saying this so that I can make more money. You need to stop taking for a month, 1 full month. Because when you take herbs, they get to a point where they stop working because the system gets used to them. So you need to take a break. After every 3 months, you must take a 1 month break. If you're taking aloe, you must not take aloe for more than 15 days. After 15 days, you must stop taking aloe. It becomes the opposite of beneficial. So this is what I just said here. If you're taking aloe, if you're taking Ver, and you've taken 3 200 grams packs, you must WhatsApp me, and then you need to stop for a month. And then that's the dosage. I'll let you know what to do next, and I'll have a list. If you're having no effect, if you see that your engine is still like rubber, then you must call me and we'll refer you to the herbalist. If sekuru wako ungaenda vakadzi 3, iwe une mukadzi 1 uri kumutadza, that means kuti hazvisi bo, hauna kugadzira something. So we'll sort you out with the herbalist. So I think, guys, we've covered this community. I've plugged you in terms of community. You must take care of your health. Don't leave your health in the hands of anybody. And as I'm saying, this is your responsibility. Now let's go to some comments before I become, before I laugh too much. Prophet Advocate Joshua is a prophet, yes, but you are the real prophet who prophesies the downfall of Mnangagwa. Thank you, Mkoma Farai. Mnangagwa Arkuraya Vanhu. nenzara. Zanu PF agent, CIO uyu. If you see a CIO of my caliber, then Zimbabwe yaenda uko kumberi. Hakuna CIO akadai. I do not lie to you. If I become a CIO, that would be crazy, leaving my massive audience to go and sit in a corner and be told where to go and when. Right. Kumeso kunege dewe. Mlesa atsama. Kumeso kunenge dewe. Kumeso kunenge 0.5. Comment Zimbabwe. Kutsukira uko mubve kana kuti maku bleacher. Ini ndo bleacher. Guys, no bleacher. I'll show you what I use. And the bleach in the sense kuti zvemuri kufunga. Ndino bleacher pakuti ndine imwe what's called moisturizer ndoshandisa makusense every day. Kana ndisandauya panapa, but today I didn't use it. Why are you laughing when someone is sick? Blessed Mtetwa is sick. Why are you laughing? He's not sick. He is emotionally stressed. According to his tweets. Let me show you. I thought he was sick in the beginning, but then when I read it, I realized that he was emotionally stressed. So he said he's just doing his job. That's when I realized it's not sickness, it's pressure. So here it is. If you think I'm lying, I'm tripping, I'm falling, and I can't get up. My health is failing me. My mind is spinning. I'm in a hospital right now. But I'm grateful of the support that I've received from you, my employers, and my family. This is a trying time for me. All I'm doing is my job. So he's not sick, Blessed Mtetwa. He is under extreme pressure. He's being chased by police. And it's not sickness in that sense. It's like in him. No, my son say, oh, no poison. But I am here every day. That's my job, right? So it's sickness, but it's not that sickness. Skandati mudze atore muve awe panapa ndompa mve aneda bo. Let me tell you about muve. If you drink that thing, exhaustion, stress, and vakadzi aneda nayo because of muve. And uri mukadzi inobvisa, clean out everything in system. So this thing is powerful. That was why I was laughing. I was not laughing because I laugh at Blessed Mtetwa. I talk to him all the time, more than you think. How far with response on application for Vic Force? I'm sorry, it's been too hectic. We are going to come back to Victoria Force, but I'm employing a team to deal with it. And I don't think it will happen. Don't think Mnangagwa will step down. Mnangagwa achamanya is legendary. In the voice of Comrade Marogro, Mnangagwa achamanya is legendary. We want to see it gone. Yes, Mkoma Dumisani, and you should pick and go. Yes, Mnangagwa is going to step down today. You're going to see this is the first day. The army doesn't go out for no reason. If you see an army driving out and coming back with nothing, the generals are going to get fired. They're going to get killed. They're going to get dismissed. Do you think the Zimbabwe generals are stupid to allow themselves to be fired by Mnangagwa? A man who is only left with 2 years. The military has a long-term plan. I've given it to you. The roadmap is 2035, and then you have an election in 2040. The military is not stupid. They're not going to allow this man to sit there. Do you think Geza will be allowed to move around in town? Do you think Mnangagwa can now go back and sit in front of everyone and appear that everything is normal? Everything has changed. This is not reversible. It's irreversible. So this is not reversible. It's irreversible. We are at a change. What we just need is to make sure that we don't end up with worse. So guys, let's push these guys. Ngatitaure na Chiwenga. Chiwenga ndiye achata president. Ngatitaure na Chiwenga, ngatitaure na Zanu Geza. Speak to all these guys. Chiwenga must be guided by the people. We mustn't allow him to become what Mnangagwa has become. Because Chiwenga is living on the goodwill of the people. People have given Chiwenga the goodwill. So he must reciprocate. And I have never seen someone who has been given so much respect like Chiwenga. Believe me, Everywhere Chiwenga is going now is get respect because it's clear that Mnangagwa is failed. And people are now looking at Chiwenga for a change. So Chiwenga must do the right thing. When eventually people put him in office, he mustn't do what Mnangagwa did. Mnangagwa only thinks about himself. That is the problem with Mnangagwa. People around Mnangagwa are poor and hungry. That is the problem. I told you this. No one around Mnangagwa is making money at all. That is crazy. People need to make money. No one will bother you if people make money. Now let's look at Minnie. I forgot my favorite person here, Minnie. Guys, the only woman with a gun. Look at what she's doing. She's doing the skipping rope challenge. Go check it out on Minnie Baloy. Let's see how many followers she's got now. She's got 83,000 followers. Minnie, I've got 300,000 followers. Make her catch me, please. She is the most popular woman on Zimbabwe Facebook, the wife of General Chiwenga over here, doing very, very well and communicating like no other. That's the kind of first lady that we need. Not zvimwe zvatikuona izvo. Pane mama first lady ka ekuti shiri yabvuta rekeni hatisi kumada iwayo. Toda munhu anoita kuti vanhu vaite mari. The problem, and Mnangagwa is watching. I know that Mnangagwa is watching. The problem with Mnangagwa is people are not making money. Our country is like a dump. If you go into Zimbabwe, it's like you're going into some prehistoric thing. When I went to Mozambique in 2001, that is what Zimbabwe looks like now. Everything's falling apart. The roads are bad. There's dust everywhere. Harare is like some funny town from Cuba. And that is because of Mnangagwa. He's failed to develop the country. He's failed to make people make money. Companies are shutting down. There's no stock on the shops. You've got a strange currency called Zik. Mnangagwa never does anything except move around with the thugs and pimps and escorts up fire, murderers, people who killed Pastor Tafmane Masai. And the police, they behave like gangsters. They demand bribes everywhere you're driving. That is the problem with Mnangagwa. He's created a mess. And that is why people want him to go. He's trababulous. Trababulous. That's something some Darawi. Ndompata kana maami kana kubata Mnangagwa. Ndompata ndo jamba ndo ndompata ini. Kana ami katadza. Tidi ami no kaso. Bata imunhu uyu. Right, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. It's been great. We are going to be watching this thing today. And we like it. Yes, we're all desperate for change, just like the time of Bob. You are a layer. Lorraine. And you know, phone 32 phone. Right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. It's been great. This week has been our biggest week. I think over the past 2 days, everyone has been watching. Let's see what happens. And before I go, let me look at President Hakainde Hichilema. What is President Hakainde Hichilema saying? Guys, I'm going to visit Mozambique very soon. Right, President Hakainde Hichilema, let's see what is posted. He posts a few times a day. He's saying we're delighted to note significant strides we're making towards achieving energy efficiency. So ZESCO has signed an agreement, 29 power purchase agreements with independent power producers. So go check it out on President Hakainde Hichilema's Facebook page. Guys, I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to today. And I'll see you later tonight as we unpack what has happened. I think today we're going to have Tinashe Jonasi. And we want to see what Zimbabwe intelligence is saying. Thank you very much and a good